Um,
So let me know if it is, speed up.
This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is October 27th, 2023. We're performing a drain line, waste line inspection through the vent at the rear of the building. It is on the northeast corner of the building, and we have a 2-inch roof vent that we're running through. We were unable to locate mainline cleanouts. So we are in the breezeway in between the two buildings right now in the planter area, and we're going to begin pulling back. We're in vitreous clay right now. We're going to pull back and we're going to try and run through another cleanout on the other building. So we're going to pull back slowly. As I said, we're in vitreous clay. A little slower. So far, the joints in the vitreous clay look good. We just transitioned back to cast iron. Now we're coming back into the building. We're coming back into the main building. And that is the 9710 North White Oak Avenue building. So we're going to continue to pull back. I believe this is the sanctuary. So we're in cast iron. We've got some buildup. We've got some debris in the line. Wouldn't hurt probably to try and hydrojet and maybe even descale this line a little bit. It's kind of rough. It's not terrible, though. We've seen a lot worse. It's just that we only have toilets and we have sinks in the building. So debris does not get pushed out that far, paper and such. So it can build up with the barnacles, little nodules in the cast iron that will catch such items. So we're going to continue to pull back. We're in the building, pulling back toward the back bathroom, as I said, on the northeast corner. This is out toward the back parking lot and where the air conditioning condensers are above the mechanical room. We're continuing to pull back. So far, don't see any holes, don't see any breaks in the cast iron. The cast iron appears to be in fairly decent condition considering the age. Making a turn. Again, coming back toward the corner. This was cutting through the building from the breezeway in between the two buildings, and then making a 45-degree turn and another 45-degree turn, coming back toward this corner of the building. This is where the bathrooms are, in that far corner. Going to continue pulling back. As I said, there's some debris, and in the vitreous clay we had some buildup and debris. That's a lot of the little granules and the buildup and the corrosion that does wash through here and there into the vitreous clay line. We're pulling back, and now we're pulling back to the vent line. We're coming up the roof vent. So we're going to pull up and out of our roof vent, and then we will relocate our equipment to the cleanout on the other building and see if we can push out. As I said, we couldn't locate a cleanout on this building. So we're going to pause for a moment, relocate our equipment. We'll zero out too. Okay. Here we go. We are in between the breezeway, between the two buildings now. We're at the rear of the building. We're at the northeast corner of the second building. And I'm going to zero out our camera monitor right there at the opening. Okay, we're going to begin pushing into the cast iron cleanout. We may end up having to pause a little bit. We got a little debris down there, no big deal. We may have to run water to try and help us push out. If we do, you may not see a whole lot, and we'll view it on the way back if that is the case. There's some more cobwebs. This section of the clean out is primarily for the wash sink, and now we're coming into a wet line. We're transitioning. We're going to try and run some water and see if we can get through here.
He pushed through.
Okay. There you go. I run some more. Good. Okay, we've got some water churning right here. We're gonna let this water dissipate and wait until we can see the line a little bit better. We are in a cast iron line, and we're gonna begin pushing in again. Water level is dropping now. And we're going to begin pushing in again. As I said, we are in a cast iron line. We'll take a look at this area on the way back as well. Get a little bit of film and debris on the camera lens. We may have to push out as far as we can, rinse the camera off, and then when we pull back, we'll take a good look. I'll pause for a moment. Okay, we transition now to vitreous clay. We're going to pause for one moment and locate this area, see where we transition from. We may be right outside the building here in the planter area, very possible. Okay, we're going to continue pushing out now. We're heading into the other building. We may transition. Hold it right there. It's a clean out. It's a clean out. Let's try. We're going to try and locate this area. Okay. Okay, we're going to continue pushing in now. And we mark this area in the planter. A tiny bit of root intrusion there. Not terrible. Maintainable. There was another root intrusion too. But we're just going to keep pushing in. And we'll take a look, see if we have more root intrusion. Then we transition. What was that? Looks like ABS? Mm-hmm. So there might be a clean out right in there. That might be, huh? There? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to try and locate this area. Hang on. Okay, we have located the clean out. How deep were we? Approximately 6 feet, 7 foot deep. And we are in the planter area. We'll mark it with an orange flag as well. It is an ABS plastic clean out. That's the transition. There's a short section of ABS plastic piping between the vitreous clay. Now we're going to begin pulling back. There was a little spot repair performed here from what we can see. And now we're transitioning back to vitreous clay again. We've got a little root intrusion in the joint. Still appears to be in maintainable condition at this time. Pulling back toward the northeast corner of the building where the cast iron cleanout is on the wall. We have some more root intrusion in that joint. Minor root intrusion and still maintainable. We would recommend flushing some Root X down the cleanout. ROOTX. Another small amount of root intrusion there. Flush the Root X down the cleanout possibly once a year, once every 2 years. Now we got a little bit of a belly. We're holding a little tiny bit of water right in that area. That's the inlet from the other building. That is the inlet from the 9710 North White Oak Avenue building. We're going to continue to pull back. We got a little offset there. Small shift in the pipe. Again, not terrible. We got a little more root intrusion in that joint. Again, maintainable. We don't see any major offsets, major breaks, major root intrusions. Most of the joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. We're going to continue pulling back. A little root intrusion in that joint as well. That's common with vitreous clay. Again, a little bit more root intrusion, small amount. Now we're transitioning now back to cast iron. Pulling back, a little bit of root intrusion there. Again, appears to be maintainable. Most of the cast iron is just a little bit rough. Might need to be descaled and hydrojetted in the future. Pause for a moment. It appears that we have a little bit of an offset here, a little bit of shift in the hub of the cast iron pipe. We're going to locate this area and mark it. This area may need to be repaired in the future. It will continue to offset if the hub has shifted and cracked possibly. We're going to locate. Okay, we located this area at approximately 5 feet 9 inches deep inside the mechanical room on the northeast side of the second building, not the sanctuary.
Are we winning?
So we're going to continue to pull back. Making a turn. Making a turn and coming back toward our clean out. Now we got some water on the camera lens as we're pulling up. We're going to continue to pull back. And we'll pull up and out of our clean out. And then we're going to relocate our equipment to the ABS plastic, the 4-inch ABS plastic mainline sewer cleanout that we located in the planter area. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, this is our 4-inch ABS plastic cleanout that we located in the planter area. And we're going to zero out our camera monitor right at the opening. And we're going to begin running through the 4-inch ABS plastic clean out toward the sewer, toward the city sewer in the street. Now we transition again to vitreous clay. We had a short section of ABS plastic. We have a little root intrusion here. We're going to have to run some water again after we got debris on our camera lens. I'm going to pause for a moment and run some water. Hey Jerry, flush those toilets for me? Okay, we're in cast iron pipe and fittings now. Or no, we're in vitreous clay, excuse me. And we got root intrusion in several joints. We're gonna have to push out a little bit, push out briskly, so pretty quick. And then we'll view the line on the way back. Kind of difficult to get through. We're holding some water here, we can see. Might have a belly. We have a lot of root intrusion. We have quite a bit of root intrusion in this line. More root intrusion. As I said, we're just going to push out pretty quick, pretty fast. And then we'll go slower on the way back and try and view the line. We're going to have to get some water running to try and help us push out. Right now we're at about 100 feet. We're going to run some water real quick. We're going to pause for a moment. Oops. We're going to pause for a moment and try and locate this area. We have a fairly large root intrusion right here. I don't know that we're going to get past. We're going to try, but quite a bit of roots. Yep, we got past that one. Now we're coming up to another one where we have a large root intrusion. We're going to continue just to try and push out, see how far we can get out. I don't know that we have another clean out anywhere. We couldn't see one. Very difficult. Long run. Quite a bit of root intrusion, which slows down the camera. You can see we have large root intrusion in many, many areas. So we're going to try and locate this area real quick. Take a breath. Okay, we're out by the curb area on North White Oak Avenue, right out in front of the buildings. And we're going to begin pulling back right now. And we're holding water in that area a little bit, and then we came out of it and we're flowing right now. But we had a lot of roots in that area. We got roots in this area. We had quite a few large root intrusions. There's a fairly large root intrusion in the vitreous clay. We're gonna pause for one moment and let the water subside. There's another fairly large root intrusion, but we're gonna pause for one moment. Okay, now we're going to continue to pull back. We had a fairly large root intrusion in that joint. Again, we have more roots in this joint. It needs to be hydrojetted so we can really take a good look. Large amount of root intrusion in that joint, as well as that joint. That one's about 80% restricted. And we could not get through the curb area. It's just too compacted with roots. That's about 70% restricted. That one's about 90% restricted. That one's about 90-95% restricted. Got a small hole at the bottom for the water to go through. That one's about 60% restricted with roots. There's heavy root intrusion in so many of these joints, as you can see. That joint, there's a lot of root intrusion. That joint as well. Almost every single joint going out to the street. That one as well. That one as well. I'm going to try and shake the camera here in a minute. See if we get right there. See if we can shake it, get a little bit of the stuff off of the camera if we can. That's good. That's all you're going to do. You're just getting some of the stuff on the camera lens, going through the root intrusion like you can see right there. Right here. again there. We're not even going to mark the roots because we'd have to mark about every 3 to 4 feet. This line will need to be hydrojetted just to finish the sewer inspection out to the street. We can't reach the street due to the amount of root intrusions, and the root intrusion at the curb area was so heavy and so thick that we could not pass that area. Coming back toward the clean out now. Have some lighter root intrusion in the joints here, and then a little bit heavier at times. Now we're holding some water. We might have a belly, possibly, or root intrusion holding some back. A lot of debris in there, but I think that's a belly in the line. We can't see the condition of the joint. More than likely, we have numerous vitreous clay joints that are cracked due to the large root intrusions. I'm going to continue pulling back. More root intrusion. More root intrusion here. A lot of root intrusion there. Now we're pulling back to the ABS plastic to the clean out. We're going to be pulling up and out of our ABS plastic mainline sewer clean out in the planter area. We did mark this area with a flag. We're approximately 7 feet deep. And that will conclude our drain line, waste line, and sewer line inspection for the time being. As I said, we will recommend hydrojetting to complete the sewer inspection out to the street so we can inspect the city lateral sewer line in the street, which belongs to the property owner of this building. Thank you.